This is your host, SeattleBeats, and welcome to the second episode of the Weekly 7 Movie Night series, where I watch and review 7 movies in a week's time, or close to it, and reveal to you the best movie of the week and my recommendation for what you should watch on movie night with your friends or family. If you have any recommendations for films I should watch, old or new, either leave them in the comments section down below, or message me on Xbox at the gamertag SeattleBeats. Alright, now, the movies that I'll be reviewing this week go all the way from the original Carrie film, the Carrie remake, to Whiplash and the other guys, followed up with The Conjuring, Central Intelligence, and 10 Cloverfield Lane. Let's get started with the review of the movie in last place, and work our way on up to the movie of the week. In 7th place, we have the old horror classic Carrie from the 1970s. It being a horror classic, I can see why you might be upset about its 5 out of 10 rating, but what you need to realize is that I have to rate the film by today's standards, and Carrie honestly did not age well, unlike films like The Shining that are still incredible. I cannot recommend this movie because of its awkwardness and its annoying camera scenes, like for example during a dance scene where the camera spun with them for like 2 minutes straight while they were dancing. It made me feel so sick. You might think I'm exaggerating about the time, but honestly I'm not at all. It went on forever. And then all the weird unnecessary slapping of the bully character. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was funny, but I bet you that actress had a huge complex after that film. If you want the story of Carrie told right, just read the book. In 6th place, we have the new Kevin Hart and The Rock tag team movie, Central Intelligence. It may seem harsh to give it a 6, especially with me being a fan of Kevin Hart, but it's honestly a movie that just didn't hit well for me at all. For the most part, the problem was not necessarily Kevin Hart. It was more on the shoulders of The Rock. He has been funny in some movies, but in this film, it felt like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was just trying too hard to be something that he isn't. The best comedy films are films where the acting feels natural, and in this movie, I just didn't get that vibe. In the interviews with Kevin Hart and The Rock, they seem to have great chemistry. It just didn't transfer to the screen, in my opinion. The movie isn't bad by any means, it's just a movie where I know that it could have been done better. I know what The Rock and Kevin Hart are capable of, so that's why I'm harsh. In the end, the movie is worth watching purely for the fact that the blooper reel at the end of the film was freaking hilarious. It freaking made the movie. It's sad though that the blooper reel was funnier than the movie, but hey, I got a good laugh out of it. In 5th place, we have the Carrie remake from 2013. You are probably mad that I gave a remake a better rating than the original, but this remake was done well and was made properly to work for this time period. I personally think that Chloe Grace Moretz didn't do quite as good of a job as Sissy Spacek would do today, but all the rest of the supporting actors were way better actors in this movie, especially Carrie's mom, played by Julianne Moore, because the original mother of Carrie, her acting was painful to listen to and watch. I can at least talk sort of positively about this movie, so I'll be giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Coming in 4th place, right outside of the podium finish, we have The Other Guys. Now this is an example of a comedy movie where The Rock's acting was actually extremely funny. This movie was based around Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, but The Rock in his small role was freaking hilarious and enjoyable. Obviously this Will Ferrell movie isn't at the same level as Step Brothers, and most movies aren't going to be. But this film actually is really funny, and if you want a comedy movie this week, I believe this is my highest rated comedy movie I've watched in a little while. So it's a good movie, don't pass it up. It's not Will Ferrell's best movie, but it is good, so an 8 out of 10 seems pretty proper to me. Now, for the first movie on the podium with the bronze medal, we have The Conjuring 2. Now this movie is still in theaters in some places, so you wouldn't be able to watch it unless you go to theaters or stream it. But I will tell you that if you are disappointed with horror movies, I think that you will still enjoy this. It isn't as good as the original, but it honestly is very, very close to the same quality level, which means if you enjoyed the first Conjuring, I can pretty much guarantee you that you will like this film. The first movie felt a little bit more realistic, and this movie is a little bit more outside the box. But like I said, if you enjoyed the first movie of The Conjuring, you will enjoy the second. Being that the first movie was rated highly, means that The Conjuring 2 should be rated highly as well since they're similar. So it's going to be an 8.1 out of 10 for me. It's definitely worth watching, guys. In second place, rocking the silver medal, we have the Oscar-nominated and I think Oscar-winning film, Whiplash. Being an Oscar movie does not necessarily mean that you're going to like it. There's certain movies that always usually make it to the Oscars, but Whiplash is one of those films that I honestly think will hold up for any audience or type of person. I'm not necessarily someone that's really into drama genre films, but this movie captured my interest and was extremely intense, keeping me on the edge of my seat the whole time. That is a sign of a movie that deserves all of the awards that it got. So an 8.4 out of 10 rating for me is nowhere near over the top. You will enjoy this movie if you watch it. And now, for my favorite movie of the week, and my recommendation for your movie night, which is one of the easiest decisions I've made in a while, was the incredible, amazing, and awesome movie which we have in first place, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think that you will appreciate this movie the most if you watch the original Cloverfield movie, but 10 Cloverfield Lane is set up completely differently by not being a fiction found footage tape. If you at least know what's going on in this universe, I think that this movie will be very highly rated by you. You don't have to watch the original first, but it's a good idea. Most movies that you watch may be a little slow in the beginning, not as good in the middle, or things along that nature. But the thing that makes this film so great is that its intensity starts right from the beginning, keeping that energy all the way through to the middle, and finally to the end with a creative twist and an awesome climax that makes you want another movie. But not in the bad way like the superhero movies do a lot of the time. You don't have to wait for this film to get better, it just is. So that's why this movie is going to be an easy 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's worth it, guys. It is, trust me. I might not always agree with the critics or the popular opinion, but I know a good movie when I see one. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please like and share, and remember to leave your movie recommendations in the comments section, along with your answer to my question of the week being, what is your favorite old school horror movie? Mine has to be The Shining, without a doubt. Hope you enjoyed. That's all from me. This is your host, SeattleBeats, signing out.